The things that are coming through today are pretty exciting if you're aligned with this or, with your own truth. You know what I mean? Things are moving, things are activating, things are coming online, things are aligning, things are finally coming together, things are finally taking off. And it doesn't have to be like a big breakthrough moment, but it's an energetic thing. It's how you feel about how you're showing up in your day, about how you're moving forward towards your goals, and not necessarily feeling this like discouragement or stagnancy. Even if things haven't necessarily shifted in the like 3D, it's an energetic shift where you're showing up for yourself, you're taking action, and you're doing the things that feel most aligned with you. I woke up this morning feeling inspired to meditate right away. Like, I didn't even get out of bed, I was just laying there and did a meditation, and it took me into this new persona. I was able to tap into a completely different version of myself and bring that online, bring that into my physical self. And there has been a major shift in doing that. The most abundant version of yourself is ready. It's ready. It's ready to step forward. It's ready to assist you in your projects. It's ready to organize things. It's ready to clarify things. It's ready to make the steps necessary to get you where you're supposed to be. And it's time that you listen to that version of yourself. It's time that you receive help from that version of yourself. Sometimes the best advisors and assistants and people who can help us is actually ourselves, and actually the highest version of ourselves, our higher self, right? The ones, if you understand that this reality is quantum, which means there's a version of you that already has what you want, that is already existing in that now, exactly right now. Just as this video was filmed on this day and now you're seeing it whenever you're seeing it, there is no split in the time, like there are two different timelines in a way. There's a timeline where I'm making this, recording this, and then there's a timeline where you are watching it, and they're meeting in the middle. I don't want to like clap because of the mic, but they're meeting, and you can tap into that and tap into that person, that version of who you are, the version of you who already made that video, the version of you who's already existing with that income stream, who's already traveling to that place, who has already met those friends, who has already spoken at those events. Like there's so many, obviously, like to your own discernment, whatever you are calling in for yourself, but it's time to realize that you have access to that. The information is on a quantum level. Like you can access that version of yourself through meditation and ask them as you would ask a friend or ask someone that you look up to or someone who you would aspire to be like. Ask them those questions about how did you get here? How are you living? What are the things that I should be doing right now that's going to get me to that place? And just doing that is going to honestly unlock everything that you need in order to move things forward, in order to bring in that abundance, in order to bring in those manifestations that you want. Because they're literally able to give you okay, first I did this and then I did this, but it's not going to be they're not going to give you the entire path, because the path that they took is different to your path. If that makes sense. So, okay, I don't want to get too like confusing, but the path that your higher self took to get to where they are is their specific path. Now, you can get to where they are, but you might have turned left at one point instead of turning right where they did. Or you might have went up instead of going down. You know what I mean? Like, the path isn't exact, and so it's not necessarily about that version of yourself showing you exactly what to do to get to where they are at that point, but it's about what can you do right now and take that into the present moment that you're currently at. Where are you at and what can you do? Like, what action can you take right now to step you forward into that reality? And that might be something small, that might be something large, that might be going out and taking a chance on yourself, that might be organizing your work in a way that is going to make things more streamlined for you. There's so many different ways that this can happen, so I'm trying to keep it as open as possible for you guys, but I'm just saying, like, it's time to really tap in and notice how much of a difference that makes just by spending time with yourself. And that's really what it is like taking the time to spend time with yourself, with your higher self, with your inner child, with the versions of you who you want to be. And let that be your guide. Let that guide you to the lifestyle and the places that you want to go and visit and all of that. So that's kind of what I was tapping into this morning, and it was real trippy, quite honestly, because I literally felt that version of myself. It wasn't like I was looking at them physically. It was like I could feel the essence of who they were, and I could feel their personality, and I could feel the how they act and how they think and how they move and like the type of person that they are and the confidence that they have. And so it was really like just eye-opening for one, but also I reached a point in that meditation where I had to figure out, how do I bridge the gap between this physical me and that personality that I just tapped into of my higher self. And it was easier than I thought. When you think about it, you're tapping into yourself. So it's already within you. That version that they are is already within you. You just have to remember it. You just have to unlock it and let go of everything that is not that, so that that part of you can shine, so that that part of you can come forward and actually be in the driver's seat for your life. So that's really all it took, is understanding that there is no separation, and the only thing that was standing between me and that person was this false identity and the false programming and the false the things that were not aligning correctly, even if they felt like they might have. There's like a further step that we can take where we can really shed what isn't actually moving us towards our goals, and like take that action more intentionally. So, I feel like I've been rambling. Goodness. Okay, let me like stop talking for a second because my tongue feels like I need to chill. But I just get really excited and passionate about this stuff because I'm like, tap in, guys. Tap into your quantum reality. It's literally like that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like, that movie is literally like 100% a reality that we can have. Like, when you think about it, there's a version of you that exists in all timelines. Well, not all timelines, but like it exists in a lot of different timelines, whichever ones your soul has chosen to exist in. That's a whole other video that we can talk about as far as like calling back your soul and soul retrieval from timelines that you don't want to be on. Maybe we'll get into that in another video. But yeah, tapping in, Oh, yeah, the vision that I had when I was in this meditation was that my current physical self was almost in this egg. I was in an egg, like a chick is in an egg. And I don't know why it was an egg. Could have been anything, but an egg, whatever. So I was in this egg and I was like poking through, like I was trying to crack this egg and I was trying to use my energy to like crack the egg and like break it apart so that I can emerge as this new version. And then I don't know why this is so funny because it was just like so silly to me. But instead of, okay, so like in the middle of me breaking through this egg, I tapped into the version of me who was already existing. And I, my mental, like my conscious awareness went from being inside of the egg to like instantly being in that other being, in me, in the higher version of me, of myself, that was looking at me trying to break out of this egg and struggling with it. And they were just looking at me like what the fuck, why are you trying so hard to break out of this egg? And because I was struggling with it, I was like, come on, like break out, crack. And the higher version of myself was like, you can literally just choose to exist in me. Like, you can literally just shift your conscious awareness and just choose to no longer be in the egg. You don't have to even be in the egg. It's not even about breaking it and shedding it and doing all this work. It's about like just choosing. Just choose differently. Choose that I'm not in the egg. I'm not in the egg. I'm not having to break out of anything. I already exist. So why am I trying to do all this work to try and exist when I'm already existing, looking at myself, trying to do all this work? I'm telling you guys, it was trippy, okay? But if this is making sense to you, which if it does and it resonates, that's awesome. You can choose your reality. You don't have to do all this work of like breaking out of the egg. Especially, I'm speaking very specifically to the people who have already done all of that, who have broken out of the egg, and the only remainder that you're actually trying to break out of is your own mental limitations. But everything else, like you've done all your work, you've done all the things that you came here to do, that your soul came here to do. This is more, I guess, for like an advanced level collective. Advanced, I don't mean to like put like hierarchies or anything, but I'm just saying like there's people who are just beginning to wake up, and then there's people who are also simultaneously like ready to exist in their truth, in their sovereign frequency and energy. So yeah, anyways, that's what I'm speaking to. I don't know why I felt like I needed to clarify that, but whatever. um Anyways, so yeah, I was looking at myself trying to break out of this egg, and I was like, honey, you don't have to do that. You can literally just choose to no longer be in the egg, and the egg dissolves. And that's exactly what happened in my meditation. As soon as I chose to exist now in the highest vibration, in the highest version of myself, the egg dissolved, completely dissolved. And it was fascinating, quite honestly. And I was like, the egg was in my mind. The egg was the weird mental blocks that didn't need to be there. And that just, I don't know, it just felt really like so easy, and yet why was I trying to make it so complicated? And I think a lot of people can probably resonate with that, where why do we make things so complicated? We don't have to. We can literally just simply choose. We can choose differently for ourselves and let that be enough. Let that be the thing. Like, you don't have to go through so much pressure. Like, you don't have to put yourself into an egg to break out of just to prove that you're worthy of existing as that higher version of yourself. It's unnecessary. Just do it. Just choose it. So choose the highest version of yourself today. Do your own meditation if you feel called to, and try that and see like where you're at, and like try and meet your highest quantum version of yourself that is already existing. And yeah, see what happens. It was fascinating for me, but see what happens, you guys. Yeah, anything else? What else do we want to say? I think that might be it. So let me just think real quick. Tapping in, just tapping in, yeah, tapping into your higher self, tapping into the highest version of yourself and choosing to exist as that version, and then bridge the gap. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Bridging the gap, because I was trying to figure out, how do I bridge the gap? Well, you bridge the gap by choosing. You bridge the gap by choosing who you want to be. And naturally, it will naturally call the rest of you to that version like a magnet. Like if you're here and the old version of you is here, and your focus and your consciousness chooses this version of you, then this version is naturally just going to magnetize, because energy goes where consciousness flows, right? I think that's how that saying goes. I don't know. But I think that it is so much easier than we make it out to be. So by simply choosing who you want to be, simply by choosing the version of you that you want to show up as, that's going to get you everything that you want, that's going to align you to your highest version of yourself, just choose them. And everything else is going to shift naturally, and the gap can naturally be bridged through that. Speaking of bridging the gap, I have these 30 journal prompts that I did as an offering to you guys, because they've helped me personally a lot. Those journal prompts that I have linked below, they are literally taken straight from my own experience and from my own journals, and things that have assisted me into getting to this version of myself that I'm at currently, and honestly going through like several quantum leaps like this to fully embody this person, this being that I am right now. And I wanted to offer that to other people, because I know how powerful and positively it impacted my life. So it's there for you guys. If you're interested, I'll link it in the description below. And as for the message, I think that's it. I think we've kind of hit on what needed to be talked about today. So I'm going to leave it here, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And you guys stay blessed and take care. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, bye.